Hey guys, Barnyard here from freefaucet.io, and today we are going to be talking about Ravencoin and specifically about Ravencoin assets. We're going to talk about what they are, how to use them, why you may want to use them, and then we're going to go through the steps of actually creating one using Ravencoin Core. Okay, so what is a Ravencoin asset? Well, my understanding is you can kind of think of it similar to an Ethereum token, where it's something that you create on the Ravencoin blockchain. It's an asset that you can transfer and send and receive from people, and it basically acts as a subcoin on the Ravencoin blockchain. Okay, so there are many use cases for assets, and a few that I can think of on the top of my head are you could use them as discount codes, you could use them as a currency for ICOs, you could use them for things like in-game currencies and things like that. Pretty much any use case you would see for a Ethereum token or even for a cryptocurrency, you could use an asset for. And it's really a way that Ravencoin can sort of expand their use case of their coin by making sub-coins that are specific to having certain use cases, such as being coupons or being in-game currency. So how do they work? Basically, if you want to create an asset, at the moment it costs 500 Raven, and you have a few other choices. You don't have to make a 500 Raven one. You can make a sub-asset for 100 Raven or a unique asset, and they're a little bit different. I'll make another video explaining those if you leave in the comments that you're interested in that stuff. And in this video, we're not going to be talking about programmatically how it works. We're not going to dive right into the code or anything like that. But if you guys want to learn at a coding level how this stuff works, I'll make another video jumping into the code and going step by step through the code and explaining how it all works. Okay, so how do you actually make a Ravencoin asset? Well, basically you download Ravencoin Core. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well, so you can find that. And at the moment here I'm on the main net, but if you go into the testnet, you can mine some testnet coins really quickly and have a play with all of these functions here. So basically, you go into the create asset section and then you click main asset, or if you want to make a sub asset or unique asset, you click on the drop down there. I'm just going to click the main asset one right now, and it's going to cost you 500 Raven coins to make this asset, and those coins actually get burnt. So the more assets that get made, the smaller the circulating supply of Raven coin there will be. So once you've done that, the next thing you've got to do is name your asset, and this asset has to be a unique name. So there's going to be a whole bunch of different names that people have already made for assets, but you're going to have to think of your own one to make this asset, because they will have to be unique. So let's say you wanted to call it Barnyard's Free Faucet IO. So it looks like I've got an invalid character, so you're not allowed spaces. So if you click the check availability, it tells you if you are able to use that name or if it's been used before. This one is fine. The next thing you get to do is choose how many of the Barnyard Free Faucet IO tokens you want to make. So you can choose to only have one token, and that would be useful if you were trying to make something like a certificate of authenticity, and you were trying to make the asset prove that someone owned something. You could send this one token with the sale of a good. But let's say you wanted to make an in-game currency, for example, you might want to have the quantity be 100 million or something like that. And then you can also choose how many decimal places you want as well. So you can choose just one, so there's no decimal points at all, or zero I should say, or you can have a whole bunch of decimal places if you like. So the next thing here is a check mark which says reissuable, and basically this is just saying, are you able to make more of these assets in the future? So it's the same with Ethereum smart contracts. You can choose whether to make more tokens at any given time, or if when you make this asset you can only make that certain amount one time and never be able to make any again. And both use cases are valid, but let's say, for example, you wanted to make a in-game currency. You might want to be able to reissue more coins in the future if your game expands, but if you're making a smart contract, for example, or an ICO token, something like that, you might want to restrict the total supply of tokens to make it clear to your investors that you're not going to just make more and then dilute the value of your tokens in the future. So there's a few other options for assets, but these are all the ones we're going to talk about today. This is pretty much just a quick guide on how you can make one. The next step you would want to do after this is click the Create Asset button, and then the asset will be made for you. And once you've made an asset, you can actually transfer it to other people, and this does cost the regular Ravencoin transaction fees. And basically it works the same way as you would transfer coins using Ravencoin Core. You would choose the asset that you want to transfer. Obviously I don't have any at the moment, but it would come up here once you'd created it, and then you would choose a Ravencoin address which you would like to send this asset to, and then you can do all the typical stuff like adding a description, how many you'd like to send, all that stuff as well. So if you want to receive some Raven assets, basically you just click this receive button here, you click the request payment, and then you get an address here, and that is the address that you give to the person who is sending you an asset. So I think that's pretty much everything for now on Ravencoin assets. Like I said, if you want a more in-depth talk about how it works programmatically and all the different features there are for the Ravencoin asset, please let me know in the description, in the comments, and I will make sure to make that video in the future. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave in the comments any questions or comments that you might have about this video. I'm sure I'd love to hear all of your comments, and once again, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to get yourselves some free Ravencoin, just head over to freefaucet.io and register a free account. Scroll down to the Ravencoin faucet, click the claim button there, and then wait for that to load, and then click the claim coins button there. And then once you've done that, you have got yourselves some free Ravencoin, and you can use some of that Ravencoin to make your first asset on the Ravencoin core blockchain. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.